Okay, so you don't want to do trauma therapy, but here's the thing, you are doing trauma therapy anyway. We all are. Because you see, it doesn't really matter what kind of coach or therapist or healer you may be. It doesn't really matter who your clients are or what they come to see you for. There are a few universal truths that will always ring true. First of all, we all carry core wounds that are unconscious and are implicit, and most of us don't even know that they are there until we try and make some progress in our lives, and then we find we only get so far. Then we get stuck, we procrastinate, or we sabotage our best efforts. We end up back on the hamster wheel of making effort, of doing well, of falling down, brushing ourselves off and starting all over again. Now, this cycle can only end when we get to the core issue and when we begin to explore what that core wound is. But we never really get through the end of what Di Clementi calls the wheel of change, because we lapse and we relapse. We're consistently falling off the proverbial wagon only to dust ourselves off and to try again. So if you're working with clients that only get so far and then end up in that vicious cycle, the thing is, there is some trauma there, some core wound, some inner sabotage that is stopping them from gaining the success that they need to get with you. So secondly, if core wounds just isn't your language, if it doesn't resonate with you, or if you're working with the kind of clients that just would find that too touchy-feely, too psychotherapy or something like that, we can change the language and we can have the exact same conversation, but this time we can put it in the attachment style framework. And so we can look at attachment injuries, because here's the thing. It's estimated that about 50% of the population have what's called an insecure attachment style. So many of us are carrying some kind of unconscious, implicit, early childhood attachment trauma that makes it difficult for us to manage our emotions and for us to regulate our nervous system. Some clients that you have may have too much emotion and they struggle to keep their emotions in balance, whereas others might seem completely disconnected from their emotional life. So we find some of our clients are often on an emotional roller coaster, whereas others are completely numbed out. Some clients, and how does that translate then into your relationship with your clients? Maybe you're finding that some clients are really easy to get on with and others are just hard work because we can't seem to make that connection with them. And again, this is because there is some trauma there, very likely caused by an insecure attachment style. And this can go way back through their age timeline, right back to their formative years, back to how they developed an insecure attachment style from the ages between 0 and up to 2. Now, maybe you don't want to talk about core wounds. Maybe attachment style isn't your language either. Maybe you're the kind of therapist that likes to look at the different kinds of problems your clients present as being really unique and individual to each and every one of them. So maybe you have clients that come to you because they were bullied, or they developed a phobia, or they developed the yips. Maybe they seized up during a match or some kind of a performance, sporting performance. Maybe they got the yips during a golf game. Or maybe you have clients who had a difficult relationship breakup and are healing from heartbreak. Or maybe you've got clients who experienced war, famine, disaster, dislocation, or intergenerational trauma from these things that I've just mentioned. Or maybe you've got clients who've experienced divorce, discrimination, job loss, injury, violence, or the death of a loved one. You see, trauma comes in so many different guises, and as we move through life, we very often ourselves and our clients find that we are still experiencing what I call the fallout from childhood trauma as it is measured on the ACEs scale. That's the Adverse Childhood Experiences scale. I must send you a link to that so you can see where you are on that scale. So, it doesn't really matter whether core wounds, attachment injuries, or your language, or if you see each client as a unique individual with a unique individual problem. Here's the thing. When you learn the three-phased approach to healing trauma through hypnosis, it will provide you with a unified psycho-hypnotherapy model that is step by step, that's easy to learn, that's easy to implement. There's only 3 steps to it, and you will be working from the same model that amazing therapists such as Bessel van der Kolk, Judith Herman, Pat Ogden, Peter Levine, Babette Rothschild, and Sue Johnson have used to build their own unique programs. So by becoming a hypnosis-focused traumatologist, you will experience what I call that fundamental shift in how you work hypnotically with your clients. And you'll be able to deliver deep phased work, there's only 3 phases, to help your clients ultimately experience what we call post-traumatic growth.